Okay, so it's late in the afternoon. I'm pretty dirty. We've been doing a lot of stuff today. It's Friday, I think. The day before yesterday, I think I was filming out at the property, you know, with the excavators and all that. And I mentioned then that we were really busy here at the house. Out there, it's just crazy ass busy. And we posted on the log that we had all this microfiche stuff. So we're getting that going. The girls have been working on that, and it's just a mess. Look at it. I mean, it's not a mess. It's organized chaos. So all these cabinets and some more around back are all full of microfiche. Now look how many's in there? 1,000? I have no idea. But they're in there, but they're all numerical order. We've got all this set up in numerical order. And then in these map drawers, we have nothing. We have this. This is floor plans for a lot of coaches. It shows the bottom. I mean, this is from an upper view. This is the floor. This is the side wall from inside, and that's the other side wall, showing window treatments, refrigerator placements. And we got, I don't know, it's just, there's just a lot of stuff here. And it's pretty well organized, but we don't have a lot of old stuff. So this is what we have, and we're trying to weed it out and get it to the coach that it lives, that was made for, and all that. So, you know, look at this stuff. I don't know when they quit using microfiche at the factory, and I don't know when they started, but my 71 coach was in here. Now this, but you can't tell by the body number what it is, because they did the school buses, the blood buses, the prison buses, all that had a body number. And they were, as they came down the assembly line, there may be 10 school buses and then a Wanderlodge. So there may be 10 numbers between bodies. So this stuff is school buses. It's just incredible how much is there, and we can't figure it out till we get a body number and we can find that number and send it to you for a donation. So now we're gonna walk out back. We just got projects going all over the place. This is the backyard, of course. You've all seen it before. It doesn't change much. There's fewer coaches here. My tool truck. I had windshields cut for the 69N. That's the windshields for it. Heidi, the heister, we're doing a brake job on. Did one side, got this side off. The brake shoes were coated, the springs were broken. It was just a mess. So I got all the parts for that. Hopefully get it back together this weekend. Yeah, I have the other forklift, but you know, I need to get this one fixed. This stuff is super heavy. So I've been doing that. And this is all without taking any phone calls or any of that stuff that I do all day. So this is the pump section for my Marvel hydraulic press. So I ordered all the parts to rebuild that, and need these check valves. They're on the way. So I got it all. This is convenient in the shade. I've been working on that part over there. I got a new power cable to put in our bus. I got it close to the bus, so we're getting there. 50-foot power cable that goes, you know, well, I'm plugged up right now, but so I got it this close. We'll get to that in a day or so. The marble press.
Move.
So the pump goes up here. These broke the pump. all this is working fine. The packing here seems to be good. We have all the packing for the pumps. There's that, and here's the pumps themselves. They're all cleaned up, ready to assemble. Just wide open with our hair on fire. The tractor I've had out at the farm, out there clearing up. Now I need to clean out a barn with a concrete floor, and it's just full of stuff. So I'm going to make an extension on the bucket and some sideboards on the front, so I can just drive through there and scoop it up, put it in the dumpster. Man, it never ends. So we have the LXI here. This is a vacation, adventure vacation guy, and it charge air cooler was leaking bad. We didn't know how the radiator was, so we managed to sneak, whichever it is, the charge air cooler out without taking the radiator out. Pretty creative, but we got it out of there, no harm done. Charge air cooler was pouring. We hooked a compressor to it. It holds no pressure at all, but the radiator looks good. So we pulled the end tank off the radiator in the bus. We're gonna go look at that. So the charge air cooler went right in here. We took out the hydraulic cooler, and by tipping it up like that, the charge air cooler, we could slide it out the back. It's not terribly heavy, really. It's big, bulky, but it wasn't heavy. But the core of the radiator looks really good. It's not, the fins are good. It may be a little dark there now. We waited till it cooled off. We pull the end tank off. Here's the tank. There's no rust in the tank. The tank really looks good. They did have a bunch of calcium in the bottom. This is a hydraulic cooler. We have pressure washed it. It's ready to go back in after the charge air cooler gets in. Of course, we'll drill a little hole here. There's a bearing, a bushing in there. We'll drill a tiny hole, put some 3-in-1 oil in there, and then put some silicone over the hole. Lube those up a little bit. And for those of you that don't know about radiators and rodding, everybody's heard about rodding your radiator. Nobody, I don't know how many of you guys really know what that means. So this is all the tubes, of course, for the radiator, and they were pretty calcified up on the outside. So we got a bucket of vinegar and a little soft brass brush, like a toothbrush, and clean most of that off. And this is a rod, but it's just a dipstick out of something. So you stick that dipstick in there and you force all the stuff out the other side, and it falls in the other tank and we flush it out. But none of these have been plugged. There is one here, I believe. Yeah, that one is full of solder. So when they soldered the tubes on, they accidentally filled that one. We can't do anything with that. The rest of them come out pretty good. So we've been rodding, you know, we do 20, 25, and it gets monotonous, so we quit, and then we wait on the shade, and you see, that's just what you do. And none of them have been sticky or stuck. And you can see we blew water and vinegar through it, and the water is still trying to drain out of like that one. And you can see how nasty that water is. And that's just pure calcium or whatever. Now something else we do, as we go up, I stopped there early this morning. I put a little scribe mark. Then we went here, then we went there. But there's something else. These tubes, when they put these cores together,
Oops, sorry.
they don't really take a lot of care. So these tubes get crimped a little bit, squeezed, and that just stops the flow. And here's one right here that's a little bit squeezed shut, and this one's squeezed shut. Well, that just doesn't help flow. So what I do is take a little small screwdriver. I'm gonna put my knife in it. I don't have a screwdriver here, and I'm not gonna do it because I don't. Just up and down a little bit and bell mouth those just a little bit. And when you do that, you always break off some calcium that's stuck underneath. So I like to bell mouth those. It helps the water flow. And I've bell mouthed them all the way to here down, but all these have not been done. But we're up somewhere up in here with the rotting, and so we're gonna make sure they're all clean. None of them are plugged, and the little bit of calcium we had was right here. There's nothing in the middle, and the fins are all good. So we're gonna reuse the radiator instead of spending $3 grand on a new radiator. We're just gonna clean this one. Now we did manage to get the tank off because it bolts on. Getting to the bolts that were on the inside here was tough. We cut a hole in the top of the shroud here, stuck a long wrench down in there and held them and spun them off with the impact. But all the nuts fell on the bottom. We fished them all out with a magnet, but we'll never be able to put the nuts back on that way. So we got a little trick for that. Let me show you one more rod here. So there, we're gonna leave that there for now. And then, okay, on the tank. So the tank bolts to the core, or goes to the core, and then there's a gasket, and then there's a plate, like a, what would you call that? Like a strip that has holes in it to help spread the load, like a long washer. But here it is. So this plate goes behind the core.
They didn't see it. Okay.
It goes on the outside like this. The tank goes up, then the nuts and bolts go through. So there's 55, I think, bolts around this. But we can't get our hands or the nuts around the back side here because of the shroud and the fan. So we simply cleaned all the rust off the plate, and we JB welded all the nuts in place. So we'll slip that in. Once we get the bolt started, we'll zing it in with a little impact wrench. And getting the bolt started, I mean, if it spins once it's started, if the JB weld breaks loose, we can still get a wrench in there. But putting a nut on it in there would have been impossible. Unless we had an octopus. No octopuses. So I guess that's all we have for this afternoon. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up. We'll do some more as we put this back together.
Comment.
Don't forget to comment down below. Ask questions. Whatever you want to talk about, we can do it. Thanks for watching. See you down the road.